thousands of dollars of cash will be given away to the winner. This is going to be incredible. Self-portrait and still life competition. That's what...
Well, I do paint portraits. And I am broke as
pasta.
So, yeah, let's give this a try. Okay, I have to tell you, I kinda already did a video in which I paint a self-portrait, and this was the result. But I'm not quite happy with how this turned out, and also I painted this from a photo, and I thought, okay, but what's really the purpose of an art competition like this? And I believe it's to promote art, to allow people, to push people to create more art, but also to allow people to experiment a bit more, right? So I thought maybe I could do something that I've never done before, and I'm sure this is going to turn out as a complete disaster, but oh well, at least I've tried, right? And the idea is to paint myself live, like looking at myself through a mirror, and see how this goes. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in seeing how I painted this one instead, let me know in the comments. I'll probably put the process around here or on Instagram as a reel or short or something like that, okay? Cool. Color I have here are titanium white, yellow lemon, classic medium Hansa yellow, pyro red, permanent alizarin crimson, halo blue green, ultramarine blue, ivory black, transparent red oxide, and burn umber. To move something around. Let's see. Voila! Also, because I always have a problem with this pochette box when it's sitting on the table, that if you put a panel here, it always wants to tip over when I'm painting. Then yesterday I met this friend of mine, an amazing artist, Liz Gridley. She also has a YouTube channel, go check it out because she's an amazing painter. And she was talking about the fact that Edge Pro Gear has for their own pochette box a little tabletop of thing to keep it stable. And so I was looking on Amazon for something I could use to fix this issue, and I found something. Look. So this is what I found from Newer. Quite inexpensive. I leave the link to this object in the description below. And this basically is a tabletop tripod. Let's see. Perfect. I decided to paint on a 8 by 10 inches panel that I gessoed, and I decided to stain the canvas. This is useful for two reasons. The first is that it will allow you to better see values and contrast and the relationship between the colors. And the second is that it will give your painting some warm undertone that will come through where your paint is thinner. The reason I also wipe the excess off is to avoid having a surface too wet and slippery. That will just make painting on top harder. Unfortunately, from this angle, you can't really see me using my image in the mirror as a reference. I had a second camera angle, but once I started editing the footage, I realized the camera wasn't recording. Luckily, I still have a bit of footage from that angle, as I noticed my mistake once I took a break. If you keep watching, you'll see at some point I switch to that and you'll be able to see what I'm looking at while painting. I decided for this painting to build up slowly, starting with a thin application of paint to be able to correct proportions, alignments and little mistakes as I go. And then applying more thick paint as the painting evolves. And if you have made it this far into this video, I also wanted to let you know that if you are interested in the full process of my oil paintings or how I make studies and sketches in pencil, charcoal or watercolor, and all this while also supporting the channel, you can find all of this on my Patreon. I hope to see you there. And you can see I keep making small corrections here and there. This is because I keep looking at myself in the mirror and the angle and pose I assume sometimes differ slightly. So overall, I'm trying to keep somewhat of a balance between keeping the painting in proportion and what I'm actually constantly seeing. When it's time to paint the pullover and the pochette box, I keep my brushstrokes more loose, intentionally trying to avoid details in the folds as I wanted the attention to be driven to the area of focus. And here I finally have a bit of that extra footage where you can see my reference, what I'm looking at in the mirror. I think here I should have remembered to smile maybe in the mirror, so the painting will look less serious, but oh well. I'm actually quite happy of how this turned out, to be honest, and I hope you like it too.